Welcome, everyone. We talk about love constantly, but have you ever stopped to think, what is it really? Is it just one thing? Or is it maybe a little more complicated than that? Yeah, that's exactly the big question we want to dig into today. And we're going to come at it from two, well, pretty different perspectives to see where they might actually meet in the middle. So I'm going to be looking at this through the lens of spiritual wisdom, what ancient traditions have to say.
And I'll be taking us inside our own heads, literally, breaking down what's happening in our brains, right down to the molecules. It's going to be fascinating to see where these two worlds connect.
So here's the crazy thing. That feeling, the one, that intense, all-consuming passion when you fall for someone, well, it turns out it can feel remarkably, almost eerily, similar to a deep spiritual experience. Wow. So science is basically confirming what mystics have been talking about for, centuries. That's pretty incredible.
It is, and it's not just a vague feeling. We can literally see it. When scientists put people in brain scanners, the very same reward circuits light up in both cases. It's like the brain has one big love button, and it runs on some very powerful stuff.
Okay, so what is this powerful stuff? Well, when we fall in love, our brain is flooded with this incredible chemical cocktail. Let's break down what's in it. First, you've got dopamine. You can think of this as the chase chemical. It's the reason you feel so energized, so focused, maybe even a little obsessed. It's pure motivation and craving in a molecule. Then there's oxytocin. You've probably heard of it. It's the cuddle hormone. This is the stuff that builds that deep, warm feeling of connection and trust. It's literally the chemical that helps turn me into us. And rounding it out is serotonin, which adds to that blissful, almost euphoric high of new love. So you mix all those together and, yeah, you get a feeling that is, for lack of a better word, completely intoxicating. And as Dr. Bruning puts it so well, love is literally a cocktail of brain chemicals. That's why both romantic and divine love can feel so incredibly intoxicating. From a scientific view, it's the same neurochemistry at play, just pointed at a different target. And that is the perfect place for the spiritual traditions to jump in. They would say, yes, that intoxicating feeling is absolutely real, it's powerful, but it's not the end of the story. It's just the beginning. It's the first step on a much, much bigger journey. Take Sufism, for instance. They have these two beautiful concepts. The first is ishq-i-majazi, which is that love for another person, worldly love. But they see it as a kind of training ground, preparing your heart for the real deal, ishq-i-hakiki, which is true, divine love. So the idea isn't that worldly love is bad, not at all. It's seen as absolutely essential. It's how our hearts learn to truly yearn for something, how we learn to be selfless, how we learn to let go of our ego, all the things you absolutely need to prepare for that ultimate spiritual connection. And a lot of the time, it's actually the pain of worldly love, the heartbreak, realizing that another person can't complete you, that pushes us forward. When that human connection shows its limits, it can launch us on a search for a love that doesn't fade, something eternal. Okay, so this is it. This is where our two worlds really crash into each other in the best way. We've got the same feeling, right? Driven by the exact same brain chemistry,
but aimed at two totally different things. It really helps to see them laid out side by side.
Right. Look at the target. One is a person, finite, flawed, temporary. The other is the divine, infinite. And that directly impacts the duration. Human love, beautiful as it is, has an expiration date. But divine love is seen as eternal. And that changes the whole outcome, doesn't it? One can lead to attachment and grief, while the other promises liberation and peace. There's this gorgeous parable in Sikh wisdom that I think just nails this idea. It compares these two loves to dyes. Worldly love is called kasam. It's like a weak, pinkish dye that fades the moment the sun hits it. But divine love, that's majit, a deep, vibrant red that stains the cloth forever. It becomes a part of you. Okay, so let's tie this all together. What are we really saying here? From my perspective, the science is clear. The initial feeling? It's the same. That chemical spark is identical. But, and this is the big but, the destination couldn't be more different. Just like Hasan's quote says, one path is about attachment, and that can come with a lot of anxiety and potential for loss. The other path is about surrender, and it leads to a deep, lasting peace. which means that the experience of human love, all of it, the good, the bad, the beautiful, the painful, it isn't a mistake. It's not a detour from the real thing. It is the curriculum. It's the class your heart has to take to learn the language of true yearning. So, in the end, it seems like science and spirit aren't really at odds here at all. It's not about one rejecting the other. It's more like an expansion, a continuation.
That's the perfect way to put it. Worldly love is what lights the match. Divine love is what turns that little spark into an infinite flame.
Which leaves all of us with a powerful question to reflect on. The next time you feel that profound spark of love, just ask yourself, what is this feeling pointing me toward?